Hello again, welcome back to the channel after a very long gap. October 2021 was actually my last update, and a lot's happened since then. In fact, it's finished. The garden room is finished. So here you can see we've got the double glazed windows in, two at the front, one at the back so I can watch the trains go past, and we've also got the French doors. So I've got this rather large overhang which I wanted to keep some of the weather off the front because it is a bit of an exposed location. There will be some downlighters in those as well, which you'll see in a moment, but it is a little bit of an overhang. I suppose you could shelter, you could build a nice veranda as well, perhaps at some point. We'll just go around the back so you can see what it's like at the back. Go past all the old insulation, which I wish I could keep because it's very good for building scenery, but it's a bit bulky, to be honest. So at the rear you can see the railway that runs past the bottom of the garden, and you can also see I've got one piece of cladding in place. This was put in because the air conditioning unit pipework runs down there, and I covered it up with cladding because there's a big hole that runs through the wall. So this is the inside, and this is the Western Red Cedar, which is going to clad the outside. As you can see, I've had it boarded and plastered on the inside, still needs painting as well. There's no floor down yet, probably going to put carpet or carpet tiles down to try and keep it a bit cosy, you know. So I had to empty everything out to do the carpet tiles, and it looks lovely when it's empty. Needs skirting boards still, of course, but the carpet tiles I decided were a better bet than carpet, much more hard wearing. This is actually a wireless access point because the summer house doesn't quite get a very good Wi-Fi signal from the house. It doesn't help that our Wi-Fi is rubbish, but I'll not tell you who it is, but it's rubbish. So I had to put a wireless access point, which is why we have two network cables running in. And it's actually going to have to be more, as you'll see in a moment as well, than a railway room. It's acquired a rowing machine as well. That's the distribution board for the electrics and also the timer for the outside lights. I am rather pleased inside. It's a lovely space inside, but it's going to be very busy. You can see the two network cables coming through the wall there. And the access point, the wireless access point, can work PoE, power over Ethernet, basically, but my system can't provide that. So that little white box, which you can see plugged into the mains, is the power supply, basically. It injects power into the Ethernet cable to make the access point work. Right, here it is from the outside, finally finished with the Western Red Cedar on. And I actually think it looks lovely. I really like that Western Red Cedar. It's just so expensive. There is a 40 amp armoured cable runs along the fence there from the house on its own circuit, of course, to provide power to the summer house, which is more than enough for boiling a kettle, cup of tea. And the most high current device in there, of course, is the air conditioning heating unit. So these are the up and down lights. They actually controlled from that light sensor on the side there. They come on when it gets dusk and switch off about 11:30. They've got very low energy lamps in, only 3 watts, so it's not going to add too much to the electricity bill in these times of high energy costs. 2 windows. As I said early on, I was going to fit 2 windows because a bifold door, not only is it very expensive, but it also means that you can't really use that wall because of the way the fold works. So you can't use it for shelves, or you can't have the railway going past. So, which is why I decided to go with 2 windows. And of course, French doors, which means you can carry things in easily, wide things, without trying to squeeze them past the door. So everything had to go back in, of course, after I laid the carpet, and this is the state of play at the moment. February 2023. There's a lot of stuff. Everything you can see here now has to stay in the summer house, which is a bit annoying. Got the rowing machine, of course. The wood you can see in the background is ready for the baseboards. I bought a new workbench, which is nice, 2 meters long, plenty of size, plenty of space to work. So as well as the rowing machine, everything else has to fit in, including this drum kit, which we have to find space for now. I think it'll be okay. And at the back there you can see my saw. It's folded up, a saw table, which is folded up, which is invaluable when building the summer house and be very useful again. And the wood you can see in the background, by the way, that's 4x1 timber, which is for the frame. And the sheets of wood, we've got some 12mm 1/2 inch ply for the base, and there's some 9mm as well, which is going to be for a helix. Yes, there's going to be a helix. As well as the 4x1 there, by the way, you can see some 2x1. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff to squeeze in, and because I've got a lot of things like this miter saw, which once again was invaluable when building the summer house, I've got to fit all this in somehow. So what I'm actually going to do is have the layout on 2 levels connected with the helix, and the lower level is going to be high enough that I can store, like the folding power saw there, the saw table, underneath the lower level. That's the plan. And everything will go underneath, in fact. The end of the rowing machine will slot underneath. The bit where the big drum is there, that'll go underneath the lower level. The lower level will be for the storage tracks, and then connected through a helix there'll be a high level. Unfortunately, the high level means it's going to have to go past the windows, but it doesn't bother me at all, to be honest. It's a railway room. The wireless access point you can see again. To extend the Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is so bad in our house, it doesn't go very far. And the 2 network cables coming in, I need to wire those in. So that's where we're up to. It's really ready to go, ready to start building the baseboards. I have been doing a layout plan, which I'll hopefully be showing you next time. Take care, and until next time, bye for now.